Am I the asshole for making a scene when my son refused to dance with me? Ooh, let's get into this. This all started when my son Ben graduated high school. There was a formal dance, and I was very excited for the mother son dance. Every time I brought it up, Ben would say he wasn't going to dance. I didn't take him seriously. I thought he was just being shy. Girl, do you not know your own kid? I mean, you clearly don't know your own kid if, the title of the story is I Caused a Scene, okay? When we got to the formal, everything was beautiful, but when it came time for the formal dance, he was nowhere to be seen. I approached my older daughter, Alice, and my husband, who I can see were talking and laughing. I asked if they seen Ben, and they laughed and said he was going to go hide so he didn't have to dance. I was absolutely heartbroken. My son was literally hiding from me. I stood in the corner during the mother-son dance, watching all his friends dance with their moms. I couldn't take it, so I told my husband and daughter that I was walking home. Oh my God. Why is this giving middle school dance? You didn't get asked to the dance. Actually, not even middle school. Why is this giving old 80s movie high school dance where you were the only one who wasn't asked to the dance and you still go to the dance and you stay in the corner sulking like a, little weird kid? This mom is already giving me weird issues. Okay, your son told you that he doesn't want to dance, so why are you trying to dance with him? When they got home, Ben walked right past me and went to his room to get ready for the after party. My daughter hugged me and went to get ready because she was driving Ben to the party. After our children left, my husband and I had an argument about what happened. He said he was appalled at my behavior and that I was acting like a child. I said that the least Ben could have done was dance with his mother. He said that today was supposed to be about him and his accomplishments, not me. True. I mean, he just graduated high school. I don't see why you're making such a big deal about him dancing with you. It's literally one song or two songs where you're dancing with your child. In my opinion, today should have also been about celebrating the people who helped him get to where he is now. Okay. Things got quite heated, and before going inside, my husband said that he wasn't going to force his son to do something he didn't want to do on his day. I was taken aback by this, so I just stayed on the porch trying not to cry. I thought my husband would support me. Later, my daughter returns home and sees me crying. She gives me a hug and gave me a chocolate bar to try to cheer me up. If no one else, my daughter would be on my side. She danced with me at her graduation. She danced with her father. She understood how important this day was for me. I asked if she was on my side. She said something along the lines of, I know you're upset, but I don't know what you expect from him. Looks like she knows her brother better than her mom. It took a few days before we really spoke to each other again, and after a few weeks, everything went back to normal. Come back to the present, my daughter recently got engaged, and we were talking about it on a family FaceTime. And the topic of when Ben will get married came up. He said he was never going to get married because he doesn't want to deal with another round of dance drama. When I asked him to clarify, he said that he was obviously referring to his graduation. Ooh, a little petty here. I was appalled at this attack. He won't get married because of me? I won't lie. I am upset and that he still does not want to dance with me, even at his own wedding. Now my husband is mad at me. My son refuses to answer my calls or text. Am I the asshole for making a scene and starting an argument because my son never wants to dance with me? Edit. Okay, it appears as I thought. The response is pretty unanimous and I have a lot of thinking to do. Okay, well that is kind of giving me the indication that she was the asshole and that people were... Well, I haven't seen the comments yet. We're going to look at the comments in a sec. But in my opinion, she's the asshole. I get why you're upset that your son doesn't want to dance with you at his graduation, or, he's holding a grudge about the fact that you made such a big scene on his graduation day. So now he thinks back to his graduation day and he's thinking about how you made it about yourself, which is why he's probably like, why would I want to go through that again during my own wedding on my day, me and my wife's day, where you're gonna throw a fit about wanting to dance with me? So I see where he's coming from. As a parent though, I also would be a little upset that my son or daughter wouldn't want to dance with me at their graduation. But at the end of the day, if he doesn't, he doesn't. And you shouldn't make a big deal about that. He is an adult. I'm assuming he should be 18 while graduating high school. And he has the choice whether he wants to dance with you or not. Not that hard. But let's look at these comments. When your child said, "I don't want to dance," that should have been the end of the story. It sounds like you walked over his boundaries often, and that was one of the first times he spoke up to you about it. Someone responded to that comment because, yeah, facts. A sad possibility is that he maybe would have wanted to dance with someone at his graduation, but had to give up his chance and hide because his overbearing and entitled mother. Ooh, this is definitely stinging for her. This is definitely like, well, she edited the post, so yeah, of course she understands people are going to hate this about her. I got the impression that my son would have done whatever he could to avoid his mom. To be honest, this post is so insane that I'm having a hard time believing it's real, especially with someone's comment that this actually happened 7 years ago. WTF. Another person commented, "My mother is the same way. She did my hair and makeup for prom, but I had to put my dress on at my friend's because her mom made it and had to do a few last minute alterations. For over 10 years, my mother complained about not helping me get ready for prom. It was brought up during every argument and sometimes just because." Well, it sounds like your mom has issues and needs to go to counseling. Last comment that I'm going to read. "My husband's graduation party did. He was in Canada at the time and he danced with someone else's mom for some reason. His mom never said anything to him, but later told me it did make her feel sad, especially since a small town and everyone was gossiping about it later." Damn, there's no good gossip in that town. Why would anyone want to gossip about that? Clearly nothing happens in that town because this is not even juicy. This story, especially this Canadian story about this husband's graduation party, not juicy at all, but there's a little bit more. Let's see what it says. "I could totally understand where she was coming from. I don't think he did it because he was mad at her. He is totally clueless about this stuff. My mother-in-law doesn't seem like the type to press an issue, so I can see why he had no idea." There you go. Enough said. Don't have to say anything else. Am I the asshole for yelling at my son's teacher and making her cry? Just buckle up because this is a long one here. "Last Thursday, I, 36 male, got a call from my son's school telling me I needed to come and collect him because he had passed out during class. My son has passed out a good few times before, so we've made sure he knows what to do when he starts to feel faint and make sure he doesn't hurt himself. However, when I arrived at the school, my son was holding an ice pack to his head. When I asked about it, the nurse told me that he had hit his head when he fell. I was wondering why he hadn't laid down like we taught him to do. I brushed it off and decided to ask him about it later as he was still kind of out of it. The next day I asked him about it, and what he told me made my blood boil. Apparently, when my son had first started to feel like he was going to pass out, he tried to tell his teacher. When he stood up to talk to her, he was immediately yelled at to sit back down. The next time he tried to tell her, she told him that he didn't look sick, so he wasn't allowed to go to the nurse's office. Then his class was doing an activity that requires standing for practically the rest of the lesson. Before the activity, my son yet again told his teacher that he felt like he was going to pass out and asked if he can sit the activity out. The teacher responded by yelling at him, claiming that he was being lazy and was making up excuses. My son's friend was getting worried about him, so he told the teacher, who then started yelling at his friend, accusing them both of trying to get out of the lesson. Not even a minute later, my son passed out, and according to his friend, a couple other classmates, she acted very shocked, and as she hadn't been ignoring him trying to tell how he felt for the last 5 minutes. I'm extremely worried about the impact this will have on my son, as when the fainting first started, he didn't tell any of his teachers as he was scared that they were going to yell at him. This resulted in quite a few injuries from falling. It has taken a while for him to start telling them when he's feeling faint, and I'm afraid this incident will cause him to stop asking and he will hurt himself. I wanted to go down to the school that day, but my son had stayed off and my wife wasn't home from work yet. The following Monday, I arranged an appointment with the principal. After I explained what had happened, he called in my son's teacher, who then tried to deny the fact that he never told her anything, and he just randomly collapsed. This is where I may be the asshole. By this point, I was pissed and began to scream at her, yelling about how my son could have gotten hurt. I was so pissed I hadn't even noticed that she started to cry. By that point, I was asked to leave by the principal. My wife and my friends think I am in the right, but my parents and the other half of the friends think I went too far. I don't know about this one. What do you guys think? Am I the asshole? Look, I don't think he's the asshole. I think he could have handled it better. I don't think he had to yell at the teacher. But at the end of the day, if you are hearing that this teacher is denying that his son has said anything, who wouldn't get pissed off about that? Because you're lying. Do you think I'm going to feel bad that you're crying after you just lied to my face? Hell no. I'm going to think, oh, crocodile tears. Oh, she can cry on demand. I don't know. But the fact that this kid told her and she responded by yelling just clearly shows that she does not know how to work with kids. And this is coming from somebody who works with kids. The only other thing that I can say is that, did this parent notify the teacher in advance, or all his teachers in advance, that this is an issue, or notify the school if this was an issue? Because if you didn't, then you kind of are setting your child up for failure by asking the teacher, hey, can I go lay down? I think I'm gonna faint. Because some teachers really won't think that that is an adequate excuse to leave class. They might think, if they don't really know your child, that they are just trying to sit out and get out of class. So let's see what the comment says, because this can be really mixed in my opinion. Not the asshole. The teacher repeatedly yelled at your son, berated him, and caused him to injure himself physically, quite possibly scared him away from communicating his needs in the future. She is a bully, and when confronted, she started lying to cover up her behavior and eventually crying. Boo-hoo. That's what bullies do. Bully, lie, and then cry when not left off the hook. You losing your cool is completely understandable. Your parents don't need to have an opinion about it, and your wife is in your corner. Consult a lawyer. I bet the principal won't ask a lawyer to leave. Ooh, get the magic L involved, the lawyers, and yeah, they're gonna be like at your feet kissing your butt. Let's see, this person says, and I agree with that last person. I mean, I just said what he said before he said it. So I'm assuming your son has a diagnosed medical condition that is on file with the school, and his teachers have been made aware of his condition and how to prevent injuries. At this point, I think I would take my concerns to the Board of Education and let them know that you intend to speak with an attorney. Yelling at his teacher was probably not your best move, but I certainly understand when it comes to the safety of our children. It's hard to maintain our cool sometimes, and I'm going to say you're not the asshole. I agree, not the asshole. The teacher is a bully who deserved getting called out. Yelling after she straight up lied is warranted. If you are in the US, please get this condition and his accommodations into a 504 or an IEP plan if there is not one already. So let's see, that's the last comment I'm gonna read because it's pretty much unanimous. Okay, this guy has an update. I'm just going to answer some frequently asked questions that answers weren't included in the original post. We are not in the US, so a 504 plan is not in place. However, we do have something similar. My son is in the middle of getting a diagnosis. Doctor says the most likely opinion is POTs. My son is 13, and I would say he's a fairly well-behaved kid, only sometimes getting in trouble for stupid shit that 13-year-old boys do. He usually stops after he gets a verbal warning. We've never had any major issues with his behavior, and yes, the teacher was aware of his episodes. Teacher's an asshole. Period. Point blank. Poo. Like, I just don't even know what to say because he's the asshole. But next story. Am I the asshole for being honest about how I was bullied and how the teachers at my school did nothing about it while being interviewed by a current student? I'm an author of mild success. I'm not incredibly popular, but my books sell well enough. About 3 months ago, someone from my old high school reached out to see if a student could interview me. I responded that my time at the school wasn't the happiest, but I would give the student response related to my career. We had a great chat. She started asking questions about my time at the school, but I redirected. She caught on to what I was doing and asked, I'm sensing that you're hesitant to talk about your time at the school. Is this true? I mean, they already said it. What more can you say? They said they don't want to talk about it, but you keep bringing it up. Why would you do that? I said, let's focus on the story. She was like, actually, this can be a better story. So you're just looking for the drama. You just want the tea, okay? And that's what I'm getting. And you know what? I want the tea too. I would be like, spill, what happened? Which teacher was it? What's the mess? What do you think can be done differently? So I said, you know what? Sure, whatever. I don't owe the school anything. I'm not being paid, and even though it's been a long time, I've grown from what happened. It's still worth talking about and mentioned a few times in specific, and how I've tried to ask for help and was blown off by everyone. Teachers at my school very strongly favored the girls in sports teams and would often be buddy-buddy with them and their parents. I mean, that's actually so true within schools. Like, if you play sports, like your parents know more faculty because, school staff are involved in going to the games. They meet your parents. If you're a good athlete, of course, they want to meet your parents. And they know that they're buddy with you in class. Like, you get a lot of perks, and I know because I was a student athlete as well. I mentioned a teacher who openly mocked the way I dressed, my lack of athleticism, etc. I brought up the time that a group of girls followed me around the school, mooing at me. Oh my god. And when I broke down crying because they wouldn't stop, I tried to tell a teacher. The teacher called me Mooly? For the rest of the year, when I yelled, my name is Molly. Molly. She had me suspended for a week. Is this real? Come on, man. This can't be real because no way. There is no way this teacher got away with that. You must be going to school in the Midwest where they can do anything. They can suspend you for nothing. She ended up publishing the whole interview. Nothing exactly went viral, but there were posts on Facebook with a ton of comments and it caused some commotion in the community. A few weeks later, I was contacted by a school official who chastised me for bringing up old wounds and trying to paint veteran teachers as bad people when they were going through difficult times already. Okay, hell no. This is just like the last post. Bullies trying to play victim and cry when they are confronted and when they're put it on blast. The teacher responsible for the Molly incident had a local lifetime teaching award taken away from her after it all came out. So was it really worth it? And maybe did I remember things wrong? Finally, a handful of my classmates, many of them stuck around town, found me, and I was enraged with a ton of messages telling me that I'm ruining the reputation of the school and several prominent community members. It was X years ago, why can't I just get over it, etc. Some of them obviously haven't changed. It was a long time ago, yes. I don't know how I really feel about how this all went down. I know times are tough for teachers right now. I didn't set out to hurt anyone, and I was telling my truth. Am I the asshole? This is literally crazy because at the end of the day, if this happened to her, she's allowed to talk about her experience. She was in an interview. It's not like she's going attacking these teachers on social media, posting her story on social media, being like, get these teachers fired. She literally was asked about her experience at the school, and she gave her experience on the school. It's exactly like me. If I'm going to be asked about my past work experience, and if it was negative, I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to say exactly what happened, because these type of people do not deserve to have things covered up, okay? To make them seem like they're the good guy or they get awards for not doing their job is not okay. This person who got a teaching award literally was calling a kid Mooly instead of her name Molly, and then got the kid suspended. At the end of the day, especially, I'm pretty sure there's records to back that suspension up because, they keep everything, but as a kid, you do remember when you get suspended, okay? And it's just, this story is low-key heartbreaking because, there's a lot of bad people. And when the whole community is going in an uproar against you, I can see how you feel bad. But at the end of the day, you don't live there. Who gives a fuck? Let them deal with the drama. Let them deal with the issues. Who cares if the school's getting a bad reputation? Because the school refused to act. So they're the assholes. You're not the asshole. Let's see what the comment says. I know teachers are going through some rough times this year, and the one responsible for the Molly suspension has been a teacher since before I even started at the school. It was a long time ago as well. Those are reasons I might be the asshole. Not the asshole. Trying to paint veteran teachers as bad people, you weren't trying to do anything. They were bad people. I'm ruining the reputation of several prominent community members. It's not your fault that they've finally been held accountable. So true, it can be explained so simply that they're the assholes for doing what they did. Not the asshole. Dude, I have dreams about getting mildly famous and doing an interview revealing all the ways my school was a cesspit of shit. Ooh. You lived my dream. You lived my dream. Not the asshole, not the asshole, not the asshole. Honestly, the woman does not deserve an award if she's bullying students. Period. And the school should have reached out to you and apologized and asked what they can do better. Their whole attitude shows they're still a terrible school. And I think we can end it on there because at the end of the day, these comments are all not the asshole. Let's just read this update real quick that she posts. So I didn't expect this to be so overwhelmingly in favor of not the asshole. I wasn't looking for validation, but wow, some of you are sending me heartbreaking stories of bullying and being ignored and gaslit, and I am so sorry. Thank you for all responding. If the mods want to take this down because of violations or whatever, please do. I have my answer. Yes, queen. You're not the asshole. They're the asshole. Like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more Am I the Asshole videos and commentary videos and reaction videos. Whatever you want to watch, because I'm going to do whatever I want to do.